seeing prices slowing down just a little bit. See what happens here when this candle closes. With that little bit, I think it was like the yellow folder news. So we'll see what happens then. Yeah, so we're trying to break this little, like I said, this little range here. We poked out, rejected, and then we're doing the same thing. So we could get like a break and retest here. These are 2 contracts. How much is it? 3. It's not too bad. If this does fall through, I probably would like, you know, this is pretty safe, but I would probably just do like previous day low right under VWAP. Give myself a little bit of tighter stop loss there. Since we are dealing with a pretty small range. Yeah, the stop loss is 84 points, so it's not too bad. See if it holds. Yeah, hopefully we can get something to be done before any other like the speeches and stuff. That would be the goal. Alright, we got a minute till this candle closes. TP1 is not very far away, so that's a good sign. Do have a warning level at 50%, so that is something to keep in mind if you are taking this trade. If it does end up closing, so we'll see. Okay, TP1 has got a little pushed a little bit further. It's gonna adjust a little bit. About 30 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds. Alright, I'm in.
Order filled. Order submitted.
Get my stops in place, TPs in place.
Order submitted.
Yeah, I feel like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen pretty quickly. I think that's kind of safe right there. 250. It's not too bad of a, almost like a 2-to-1. Yeah, like I said, I thought whatever is gonna happen, if it was gonna come back, it was gonna come back fast. But we'll see. See if we get this retest and then continuation. depending on how price action is, I might 50% or trail, not 100% how I want to approach it yet. I want to see what price action does first. So if we don't just get stuck. One thing that's good is with volatility, usually we get some follow through. There we go. If we start pushing pretty crazy, yeah, I think once we get to 50%, I'm just gonna go to break even. And then see how price action goes from there. If we can get up there. Curious to see what this is at.
Order submitted.
What is that? 460. $9,000.
Order cancelled.
Alright, did anyone hop in this trade? Very nice. Yeah, we'll just see we'll see what price action does. We are in a 4-hour fair value gap. We can definitely have room to the top side. We are just, I don't know, we're just super bullish. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, but just how the markets have been, definitely gonna try to go at 50% just to break even. Try to protect it, protect the accounts. Yeah, that's definitely a move. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see. We gotta get up there first. I want to see how price action is moving, just because of like how price action has been. I just want to see how we're gonna move. Yeah, because it seems like we've just been kind of grinding. You know, we'll get a breakout and then we'll grind and then we'll make the actual move. Versus like, I don't know, like a couple of months ago where it was just like, you know, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, you know, it hits TP. But this is when the orbs were like over 100 points, like 120 points, 150 points. They were just quick moves. Yeah, with orbs being basically half the size, I mean, I guess 100 points is asking, you know, not quite a bit, but it's a lot larger of a move versus orb that are, you know, 120 to 200 points. I believe in, when was it? I think maybe the beginning of the year we had like almost a 300 point orb. It was like, or that was like 290 something, 280 something. Yeah, so if it does, I think if it does end up coming back in, it's gonna like slam. But this is a good retest here. And like, so if you're doing one contract, I would definitely do maybe like here, but since like I'm doing it a little bit tighter under VWAP, under previous day low, just kind of, I feel like this is kind of safe. So like basically I'm just getting like a 1 to 2. If you look at it right here, it's like 250 for 461. That's basically a 1 to 2. So it's a pretty good risk on that one. But if price is a little slow and hesitant, then yeah, I'll probably just do 50%, just let my go to break even and just let it run. Oh, so that is the warning level. It is right here. So how it works is that the TP system and the warning level all work together. So what the TP system does, it will calculate the stop loss based on ATR or ATR. It's a hybrid ATR structure, a stop loss system. Once that's calculated, it will look for TP candidates, and TP1 is the most likely to get hit. TP2 is the strongest level after that, and then basically the warning level is kind of like a third candidate. So it says, okay, these are the, this is TP that's most likely to get hit. TP2 is the strongest level that it's after that, and then the warning level is kind of like, oh, there's another strong level that you should be aware of. So that's what that number is saying. So like if it breaks, there's a possibility, it could have trouble at this round number. And then the 50% is just 50% of TP1. So entry 50% and then TP1. So, and then like whatever risk you enter, it will reflect. So like I have 400, so that's like the most it will risk about for the high quality setups. It will start slowing, like as if it's like a B setup, it will risk less. Like it will go down the, it will just get lower. It works not better, but like it makes more sense if you're risking like a lot more money. But if like if you risk 200 or like 250 or whatever, if that's your risk profile, you'll get like a lot of one contracts. You will get 2 contracts once in a while if the stop loss makes sense for it. So it will look at the stop loss and then it will say, okay, the stop loss is 90 points, and the risk profile is set to 200. So it's like, okay, well, for that amount of money, you can only risk 1 contract. But if the stop loss is like 50 points, it would probably it would say 2 contracts, because it's like, oh, okay, we can go full risk and the stop loss makes sense. Like it adjusts everything in the code. Like when we had smaller orbs, like when we were like relatively like trading smaller orbs, that's how it would work. You would see a lot of 2 contracts. But if you're trading like a 150k account and you're risking more, then it will slowly, not slowly, it will break up the risk. Or if you're trading a different asset that has a lower dollar amount per point. I recommend the 200. That is it's a good safe place. The drawdown's really good. I think over the 5 years of data, it's like $1,300 or $1,400. That's like the max drawdown. With the 400 risk profile, it's a little bit higher. The overall P&L is like doubled, because it lets the higher grades lets you trade heavier on the better grades. Okay, so we're just like chopping around at orb. We retested twice. Orb held, but we're kind of stuck there, so we have not made a new higher high. So we would want to see that get broken. see that round number get broken, and then see if we can get to 50%. Making a little trend line here around the 1 minute. Yeah, just to quickly go over like the dashboard. So it's like, okay, this is your today orb, like today's orb. This is the 5-day average. If it's green, that means it's in range. If it's yellow, it means it's a little bit out of range, like for the average. If it's red, that means it's either really small, which for like a holiday, or it's really, really big, which there's a lot of volatility. Then you have your trend, your volume of per candle. It's this candle that's showing that. Also, if you're using the volume indicator, which is another indicator you guys can use. This is the orb. You can set the orb time, and then these are the breakout candles. So this is the actual breakout candle itself. That's the volume it had. And then if it was red, it would be a red candle. So you can see all the candles. So it doesn't highlight anything before the orb. You can obviously change that, but if you have it set to the session, you can actually see the volume for the orb. So you have it here, but this is a visual representation. Grade, contracts, entry, stop loss, risk, warning level here, TP1, TP2, and then so whatever is like wrong with the trade, or whatever it thinks it's like, oh, this is what was bad about the trade, it will tell you like weak volume. Like it'll say weak volume, high time not aligned with a higher time frame. Orb is not aligned. If it's like everything's good, it'll just say like all factors are solid. That's pretty much it for the dash. That is like this simple rundown. Alright, so we can break this high. Hey, what's going on? I guess the other thing to note is sometimes you'll see a CTF or HFT. So like higher time frame. You'll see higher time frame, which is the higher time frame, which is set to 4 hour. CTF would mean chart time frame, which would be the 5 minute. Those are just what those mean. And then if you see you'll see like sometimes you'll see like a warning level CTF like 48 times. It's like support and resistance. That just means like on the chart time frame that level got hit 48 times. It just lets you know like that's a strong bouncing area. And since we are so high, there's like not a whole lot of data this way to the left that's close, so that's why it's picking like round numbers and stuff. So like right here you see 2R, which is just basically just like it's its fallback. So if there's nothing over here to the left that it can like grasp, like okay, I don't like anything that's strong enough, it'll have 2R, which is the orb twice. So just double the. So yeah, about 140 points. So the orb is 76 points, so it's about the same. All right, we're slowly grinding up. Okay, so kind of what we had yesterday, honestly. It's like break, retest, and now we're making new highs. So it's like, do I go 50%? Do I lock in my profits? Yeah, so now we're having a little bit of reaction here. So if we break through, kind of puts in perspective the psychological numbers, kind of how they do have some type of weight. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is go to 50% at TP1, or sorry, at 50, take half off and just leave
Order submitted.
Just leave a runner. See how high we can push today. Just probably just leave it at TP2 just for time being. Yeah, so once we get to TP, sorry, I keep saying TP. Once we get to 50%, I will probably, well, what I'm gonna do is go to break even and then probably just do it on structure. So I want to give it enough room to breathe, but at the same time, yeah, I don't want to like give too much back. Yeah, we're already about like, what, yeah, almost 40 points into profit here. So yeah, I'll probably keep moving my, if it keeps, you know, just kind of cruising up, I'm just gonna keep moving my TP up, but like just trailing and just see which one gets tagged. Like if it you know, if it comes down and tasks me with my stop loss, and it's fine. If it keeps going and we can hit TP, that's also fine. Which alert? Let me see. It looks like you, I don't know, I'm not sure if you have both on, but it looks like you have the backtester on as well. That or something else. You have two things on. Because that white, the where it says like the +1, that's either from the oh, that alert is just a round number. It's just a warning level that we could have a reaction at. Like as you see that we are having a reaction here. It's a psychological number. Banks use it. It's like banks use it. They call it like bank levels, but there's like psychological numbers. I'm trying to think how to explain them. They're just like, they're kind of like key levels, but they no, not really like Fibonacci. Kind of like Fibonacci, I guess, if you want to think of it as like I'm trying to think of the word. Hold on. Yeah, but I guess if you want to think of it like Fibonacci, yes. Yeah, for like, okay, so like algorithmic traders, not traders, but like banks and high like these big firms use like algorithmic trading, so they'll use like a lot of these psychological numbers and stuff like that. So it's yeah, so because like a lot of these big banks and stuff don't, ooh, that came back pretty hard from that round number. They use like robots and stuff like to trade. So that a lot of that stuff gets, yeah, no, humans also like it. It's like, that's why they call the psychological numbers. Yeah, and the more zeros it has, the stronger it is. So like 26, this one right here has a lot of zeros. So as you can see, we bounced off right from there. Yeah, just some people call them bank levels, some people call them bank levels. Just round numbers. Which depends what you want to call them. Yeah, it's not too good there. Yeah, see if we can't get through it, and then, you know, that could be an issue. Kind of retesting this level again. So this is kind of like like I was saying, that's kind of like the top of this little range here. There we go. We can just break through it. So it'd be nice if we could break through, maybe hit the 50%, and then if we come back and retest it, and then kind of continue up. So break, retest, and then, you know, that'd be pretty good. So basically support Well, it's like support become like, was it SBR? Like kind of reversed. Like support becomes resistance. Let's see if we can break it. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So like, I know people, well, I don't know, like I've seen people that basically, it's kind of like pivots, but they'll trade support and resistance with round numbers. Like if, especially like the big round numbers, like the one that's at like 26,000, since that's a huge number. A lot of people will trade between those. I think that's more for like scalping, like on the like lower time frames, maybe like 30-second. But I've seen people that, or they'll just use like the really big numbers, like they'll pick like 9,000 or 900, and then they'll get out like 26,000. Like they'll just use that area kind of like as a where to get out or where to get in. Okay, so we got a nice push through the round number. But yeah, so like I was saying before about the warning levels, it just kind of tells you, hey, look, we could have an issue here. So that's exactly what it said. We tried to push through it, we could not at first. So it just kind of tells you like, sometimes it'll be like previous day high, previous day low, weekly low. It just depends on what it's seeing. But in this case, it told you like, hey, look, there could be an issue at this. Just kind of keep an eye on it. And then it's exactly what it did. We had a reaction. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, it picks what there's, like I said, there's candidates. It's looking at all the data. It's like liquidity, round numbers, support resistance. It's, oh goodness. I don't know if I want to be
Order
I was trying to move it. I was gonna try to move it out of the way. Oh well. Anyways. Yeah, so depending on what it sees, like the data it sees, it could be like the warning level could be up here, it literally could be wherever, but it'll just pick what could be your obstacle between well, it could be like up where TP1 is. Sometimes it'll just say like there's nothing here. It's, at TP1 it's the same thing, but in this case it saw something in between. We're like, okay, we need to keep an eye on that. I still find how crazy how accurate the 50% is. Like how it gets hit, or like it's like some type of like support resistance level, but it's not designed like that. It's just like a coincidence. Yeah, but it doesn't have like a significance versus like it's half of it's half of like the stop loss to TP, or like the stop loss or whatever. Sorry, it's half of just TP, and that's based off the stop loss. Yeah, like negative. I'm gonna guess like negative R or like negative RR. Yeah. I don't know, I thought about that, but like I don't know, it makes sense, because I mean honestly I think a lot of traders do it unknowingly. Basically, say like I basically did not a negative RR, but like when you get out early, when you like say like my stop loss is down here and I got full here, well that was a negative R. Like if I would have lost, I would have lost way more money, but if I would have gotten out early, full TP at 50%, and I had my stop loss is here, well that's negative R. Or like when you get out of a trade early, you basically just did a negative R trade. I think so. I think it happens annoyingly. And I get it. Like I get the like how like if you have a big stop loss and you're not trying to get a lot out of it, you know, it's fantastic. But like I guess like my only issue would be because I work so closely with one-to-ones. Yeah, like the re-entering is always a good like possibility. Like, especially if the idea is correct. Like if the idea, if you have like, if you're like, I still believe in this idea, I think this still can work. Then yeah, like re-entry is always a good option. Like never be afraid to re-enter. I mean, just don't re-enter just because like, oh, I got tagged, you know, I got tagged to break even, and then like, oh, I need to re-enter. The trade has to still be valid. The idea still has to be valid. I think that's the biggest thing. Is like the re-entry is on the table, but if the idea is still correct, does everything look still as intended as you thought in the first trade? And then when you enter that re-entry, you need to have that conviction of like, hey, if it hits my stop loss, you know, it hits my stop loss, and then you know my idea was wrong. I think that's like, you don't get out early as soon as it goes like it starts going, you know, start getting to drawdown. You're like, oh, you know, you gotta let it play out. Yeah, so like I said, I worked really close with one-to-ones when I was like doing my mechanical strategy before this one. But the hard part was that because it was strictly one-to-one. It was either 30 points or 50 points. It was like it was either one or the other. And the hard part was, it's like, you know, the win rate's, you know, good, but the hard part was like once you get into like drawdown, since you're just doing one-to-one, it's like that grinding it out is pretty tough. Because it's like you win one, you lose one. Okay, you don't move anywhere. You lose two, you win one. Okay, now you're down one. You know, you lose two more, then you win one. You're down two. That's just a little bit of tough about it. So like what helps with this indicator is that it's not static. So TPs can be slightly bigger. Like this one's slightly bigger than a one-to-one, but you have options. Like you can do 1-2, or it's not 1-2. You can do TP2. Like it's not like a static. Like my stop loss is here at 50 points. My TP is at 50 points. Whatever one gets hit, that's you know, that's the end of the trade. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like doing it myself. I enjoy it. I totally get like wanting to be hands off. I think if I had like a strategy, and I've kind of thought about it, like kind of like maybe giving it like 2-3 accounts and just letting it trade on its own. Like I think for me, like I like understanding stuff. Like when I was young, I like to take stuff apart. I worked on cars like most of my life too. Like so like I love working on stuff. I like understanding stuff. I like building stuff. So okay, I want to see if we retest this fair value gap at all. That's gonna kind of tell me the direction here. But we're moving pretty good. So I might go to underneath, like right where this round number is. I think I like this level because it's right underneath this fair value gap, so I can lock in a little more profit. I think that's what I want to do. May move this, I'm not 100% sure yet. Yeah, I do too. I actually think I have a well, like that's why I built the optimizer, because I was using, I found a couple of them online and I just didn't like them. So I just like, oh, I can build something. Yeah, I think that's like, I think I wouldn't say it's everyone's hard part. I mean, there's some people that like can leave runners like all day, like, but like for me, it's like I just don't want to give too much back, you know. Yeah, it's like, and then it's like it's always the thing where like I'll trade, you know, then I'll get out early or whatever, and then once I look at the trade, obviously it's hindsight, you know, we all know that, but it's like when I look at it, I'm like, oh, the obvious support and resistance level was like right here. Why did I just should have put it there? But I'm looking at like the numbers, like looking at like my accounts, like I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at my stop loss, my TP. So it's like a lot of information you're trying to like filter out at once, and then it's like when you look back at it, just the chart by itself, you're not like looking at numbers, you're not looking at anything. The trade's over, you're like, oh, you see everything super clear. I've been trading for quite a while, and I've made good I've made money and stuff, but like I still make mistakes, stupid mistakes. I wouldn't say stupid, I would say I just make errors. It's just just how it goes sometimes. I mean, there's trades where I've executed, I've looked at the video footage of me trading and it's like flawless. So like, oh, I did everything correctly. But there's times where I'll look back and I'm like, why did I do that? That was a way better decision to make. But your money's going up and down, so it's like you're making these decisions really quick. And one decision can you can get out of a trade and that was the right move, or you can get out of a trade and like price just keeps going. It's just kind of like learning from it and like, okay, let me try this next time. Let me try this. Like, let me see how this works. Okay, probably. Yeah, yeah, it's like the hardest part. I just like, that's why that's why you like, what is it, like, what do you say, you have to be to be good at trading, or to be a good trader, you have to be really good at losing. You have to be really okay with it. And I think that's a lot of people, because we're not built like that. We're not built to lose, or a lot of we want to win. It's our natural instinct to want to be good at stuff. So when you're wrong, you're like, I want to prove the market I was right, and the market doesn't care. The market, you could say like, oh man, the market took it. Nope, the market does not care what you do. Doesn't care who you are. Doesn't care if you hit buy or sell. It's gonna do whatever it wants. And all we're doing is trying to see where it's gonna go. Kind of, I wouldn't say guessing, but using the information that it's giving us to say, okay, this is what could happen. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, so yeah, it's a good level. It's a good, it's like what we were talking about before, like the psychological numbers. Humans like psychological numbers. 50% is a good psychological number, because that means 1, you're halfway there to TP1. 2, it's like, okay, I can take off half my profit, or take some profit here, and I know I locked in at least half, and without having to get a tool and trying to figure out I mean, it's not like saying it's not hard, but it's pre-printed there for you. All the information's ready there. So it's one less thing. Oh, I need to grab my tool. Where's 50%? And it's just like, okay, 50%'s there. So you can watch it from entry. You're like, okay, entry's here. I know where my 50% is. No break even, just gonna go for gold. Green or red? Let's get pick one. That's one way to look at it. That is one way to go about it. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. But I will say it is good to be consistent, have that consistency though. Small days are better. For me, it's like small. I'd rather have a lot of small days versus like 1 or 2 big days, because it's just like I'd rather stack the little wins. Not even little wins, just the wins versus like taking an L for no reason. Just like for me, like psychologically, I don't do well taking a lot of losses. It's just like it sucks. Yeah, no, that's very true. And then so in my data, 50 points for NQ is absolutely nothing. Or not 50 points, but like usually half of it is about 50 points. Yeah, no, so like I don't know about you guys, but like I built the Nexus, so it has a built-in trade calendar, trade journal, and it has a calendar on there. So it's like when you see like even like the numbers are small, like sometimes it'll be like, you know, big numbers, sometimes it'll be small, but it's like green, 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 and then obviously red. But like those, you know, seeing all that green, you're like, man, it helps you. I think helps like your psychology and your confidence. You're like, okay, I can do this. I can, you know, this is doable. Yeah, in trading, I think it's like anything that can help you psychologically. Like, obviously, you don't want to get overconfident and be like, oh yeah, I got this. Like, but it helps you, like, when you can visualize it and you're like, oh, okay. Even though, because it's like, okay, it was only $300 or $200 or $100, and it's like, oh, you know, I could have made more if I would have stayed in the trade. But then you just look at the calendar and you just see just green, green, green. Even though small wins, they add up. Yeah, it's all right. See if we ooh, it's coming down pretty aggressive. I want to see if we bounce off this right here, this fair value gap, and then this psychological number. Give it a little more room. Yeah, I want to see if this holds here. Yeah, this is what I would want to see. I want to see if it can hold this. If not, I think we made a double top here, so we'll have to see. May give it a little more room. I'm not 100% sure. If we just blast through it, and then we could be getting a retest. I don't know if I want to give back that much though. Yeah, I don't think I want to give back that much. Yeah, I don't want to, yeah, definitely don't want to give back that much. Yeah, break even's a little too far for me. It went too much in profit. Alright, so we tested the fair value gap. We right above the round number, so that's the 2 things I wanted to see. If the fair value gap would defend, so basically clear the imbalance. Now, you know, we have this round number kind of acting kind of like hopefully like the same thing where it had this reaction. So if we can just continue, this is what I would want to see. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. But like, so like another thing, like how the indicator helps is, you know, if this, I'm not saying it needs to be here, but like obviously you can see it here, but without it being here, the warning level or the, you know, this warning level, you don't, you know, it's like you see it reject and it's like, okay, but now you know, like there's some weight behind this level, and it's obvious, and the fair value gap. So it's like, okay, instead of like I could have trailed it like underneath the candle, and then I could have got tagged out or whatever, or you know, however I would have trailed it. But since I was like looking for a, you know, I was like, this is what I wanted to see to begin with. I wanted to see the round number get retested, or the fair value get retested, and then continuation. But so I know to keep it underneath the fair value gap, to keep it underneath the round number. If it blasts through it, then it's like, okay, we probably reverse. If that makes sense to everyone, I don't know. But yeah, so this is what I said kind of from like the beginning. Like once we got past this round number, I wanted to see it get retested and then continue. It may fail still because we made like a double top here. So we want to see this get taken. We want to see it get taken, but not pull back. We want to see continuation. Yeah, so tomorrow I think I'll have 5 accounts total on this thing on my copy trader. So I'll be working on those 5. And then for like these accounts, these Apex accounts, so I'm gonna get so I think some Lucid and probably some Funded Next, and then who else? Tradeify. I'm gonna pick up some of those. But for these ones, I think I'm just gonna go for max payouts, like the 1500, I think 2K, and then the 3K, just because I only get 6 payouts with them, and then they go away. So might as well just max them out. It's gonna take a while, but I think it's like, if I do all 6 payouts, if I can get to that, even who knows if I can even get to 6. But yeah, it's like 70K between the 5 accounts. Like if you do the max, because it's the only thing that sucks with like Apex's new plans. It's like you only get 6 payouts, so then you got to redo the evals. So it's just like you got to keep rotating them in. So it's like you get however many you have. Even if you say you got 20, after once you got on your 3rd payout, we gotta start working on another batch of 20 or something. I don't know if they even allow you to do that, but I think you can have like, I don't know if you can have like a backup, because I know they took that away for like sim farming, where you would have like a 20 like live, or not live, but 20 funded, then you would have 20 backups. And I think you could have like, I don't know how many you could have, but then they took that away. So you could have basically 20 past evals sitting, just waiting. So if you ever blow them, just bring in the new 20, and then you just kind of rinse and repeat. But yeah, they got rid of that. I never did that, but I just know they got rid of it. Okay, so we couldn't break this high. So, well, we haven't broken it yet. But this is a really good, I like this candle here. We only need like 50 points, maybe, not even. Well, it's the TP2. TP1 is 40 points. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna get like might get one of those 1 or 2 of those lightning accounts from Tradeify. Straight to fund it, just to kind of get some extra accounts just on board. I like the 50Ks, it's just I didn't like the targets. I don't know, were you guys trading? Well, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but like, were you guys trading when Apex had the 300Ks? People would just YOLO those like all the time, like on CPI and stuff. It's okay, so this, I guess the futures market does change a lot, like the future space. But who remembers like fast track trading? Does anyone remember that? Was it that long ago? No. Yeah, they were a rug pull back in, I don't know, like a year or 2 ago. Almost bought one of their accounts, but I didn't. They had like crazy rules that like everyone was just like getting crazy payouts super fast. Like they had to change their rules because like when they came out, they had like stupid crazy rules, like stupid easy rules, and people were just exploiting them. And then like within 2 weeks, they had to like change the rules for like, because everyone was just getting like massive payouts. And then there was like a whole thing. Like there was like a class action lawsuit or something. Big big sign of a prop firm, if they don't have trade evade, that's usually like a bad sign. If they had trade evade and they lost it, or if they don't have it at all, that's always a big red flag. If you're trading futures. That was the whole thing with Project X and Top Step. Alright, so we're kind of stuck here at these highs. So if we do not break these highs, I mean, structure looks good. It's intact. I mean, we made a good move, like structure wise. Like everything looks good. I might snug this up a little bit to this bottom of this candle. Not 100% sure yet. But I do want to see continuation. I want to see like the break of these highs. And then kind of rinse and repeat. I feel like once we get up here, we're going to go sideways. If we get up there, we're going to go sideways like here, or we're going to go sideways up here. I feel like one of the two is going to happen. Like once you make like a 100-point move, I think we're just going to go sideways. Or possibly get a 10 AM reversal. But how the market has been, it just kind of been cruising up. I mean, it looks basically like yesterday, to be honest. If you look at it, I mean, this is crazy. This is just like green candles nonstop. But I feel like it's gonna do the same thing where it's just gonna go and then kind of just bounce and then just, well, this didn't really go sideways, but if you look at this, it looks almost identical. Just a little more like condensed. Yeah, but even if like this is just a good break and retest setup, to be honest. Like this would have been like the, you know, like this is like an instant retest. But if you went to the 1 minute, this would have been like a bounce, and then this would have been a good entry. I mean, you could have taken this one too if you wanted. I used to trade like confirmation candle, so it'd be like a break retest. I would enter like on this one. Probably with my stops like at midline. Okay, so kind of got like 3 touches here. So if we look at the 1 minute, you can kind of see we're just kind of stuck here. I mean, floating profit is not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, if we get like a little bit closer, I think maybe like 10 points away from like TP1, I'll probably just go to 50% and just let it ride from there. If not, maybe like underneath it a little bit. Underneath this candle. But I think TP1 should be a lock here. Unless something crazy happens, like so it should be a green day regardless for everyone. For me, I think I'm gonna trail just because of how price has been. I think we could probably capitalize on it. But I might do something like this. So I'm locked in at least 400 more. It goes to TP, TP2, but another 1,000. So either way, 400 or 1,000. On top of, what did I already make? Not really sure. I would say this is an easy trade, pretty clean, not really stressful, just slow. That was always my biggest problem when I was trading before, like when I was like first started trading. I was always super nervous, like sweating. Even if it was like if I was in profit or not, I was still super nervous. took a long time. I think the only time, like, I don't know, I guess I don't get nervous that much anymore. Probably nervous from once in a while, but like it doesn't really bother me that much anymore. I think like for me, I just like accept it. Like, okay. Oh, I think it also like okay, so I accept. Okay, if I lose, I lose. I was wrong. But once I started saying like I like this trade, or like even if I lose, if I like a trade, it makes me feel better. Like, I like this trade. It makes sense to me. I did this for a reason. Once I started doing that, I started like, even when I lose, it helped me help me like be okay with it. There's times where I take bad trades that are like, oh, I shouldn't have taken that trade, beat myself over it. But if I like the trade makes sense. Like, and then if I lose, it's like, okay, I'm okay with it. Also, I think like a lot of times if you're getting nervous with trades, I think that could be a sign of you're over risking. If the money makes you nervous, like the losing it, then it's a sign of you're over risking, over leveraging. It's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad watching the trade. I think it's worse when you get out of a trade early and watch it, or you get like tagged out, like, you know, stop loss or whatever, and then it goes in your way. I think that's super hard to watch, because like there's been times where like that'll happen, where like I get taken out break even and I just sit there and I'm like watching. I'm not in the trade. I'm out of the trade. Trade pretty done, but I'm like watching and I'm like in my head I'm like, man, it's like I need to go do something else. But that's when I think that's like when traders are the most vulnerable. That's like they're like wanting to get another trade. They're looking for a setup, and usually it's a bad one. So I like the orb. Like, there's your setup's here. Its setup is here, right? It's either you enter or you don't, and then from there on, you're like, from here we're not gonna have another setup. There's like no way. The trade's over. I mean, if you trade other concepts, yes, you can obviously enter other setups, but like for the orb, it's like, it's here. You know, you can do like a re-entry if like price were to come down. Like yesterday, I did the 50% because I saw the breakout. I saw this breakout happening, or on the other trade. So I was like, okay, I saw that trade and I was okay with it. I was fine with the setup, but like the actual orb breakout itself is, you know, it's here. Either you enter that trade or you don't. Completely up to you, but like that's it right there. There's structure to it. There's rules. You know, you have to wait for the 15-minute candle, or 15 minutes after the open. You have to, you know, there's rules to follow. Trading's hard enough without rules, because there's like really no rules to it. You just click a button. I always like the term, we're not traders, we are what is it? We're in capital protection. That's what we do. We don't make money, we protect money. Okay, so volume is dying down. Kind of gonna keep an eye on this one. See if we get a pump to the last, what is it? 20 points. But volume is dying down, so let's see if we get that last push that we need. Like, depending how it breaks, if it breaks the TP1, like how it did yesterday where it kind of just blasted through, I'm gonna probably trail. If it's like having a hard time getting TP1, I'm just gonna get out. Not 100% sure. Just gonna wait for price to do its thing. like I could put it down, my stop loss down here, protect it kind of by fair value gap. It looks like we're about to hit TP1. And yesterday it like played with TP1. It was like right on the edge before it actually went through. Alright, what am I up? 800 on this trade? $1,200. I think I'm just gonna get fully out. I probably got TP1. I'm gonna get greedy. Try to keep holding this. I'm already up like 1,200 for the day. Pretty happy with that. Account's looking healthy. Might go a little tighter on the stop. So, okay, so I do this. That's the way I like to do it. It's not like, it's not a, you can do it however you really want, but like, so this is a round number, right? And this is 20 points, I believe. Yeah, it should be 20 points. Right. Yeah, 20 points. So what I'll do if I want to trail beyond, like say like, okay, my stop loss is here, TP's here, and I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to go up here. If it breaks strong, like if it just blasts through, then I'll trail, I'll put my trailing underneath, like I'll put it at TP1. So I'm locked in at TP1 regardless. And then see how price goes. So basically like if price not just breaks through, like if it breaks and closes, then I'll basically use TP1 as support and resistance. Because since what's good about the TPs is that they're not just arbitrary. They have meaning. So this is a round number. So basically kind of like how this worked, how we had a rejection, but then we came down and kind of retested it. So that's kind of like if it breaks through like with volume and closes, then I'll move mine up here and then basically kind of rinse and repeat, you know, possibly do the same thing with TP2. But once it gets past like say both of them, I don't have anything. I'll just use like round numbers or structure until like either TP gets fully hit or I get tagged out. Oh yeah, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, like so like in this situation, TP1 and TP2 are really close because we are super high, up on like from like any price over here. So if we had more data over here, TP2 would probably be like up here, and then you could trail in between. That's just one way, you know, you can do it like that. That's just one way I like to do it. I like to see how strong price goes into TP1. If we tap it, if we break through it. Yeah, volume's starting to die. See if we can get, just need one more push. Depending where you put your, like, for this trade itself is it's a 1 to 1.3. For me, since I had my stop loss at like previous day high, it was more like a 1 to 2 for me. I was risking 250, and then full TP would have been 461. If that makes sense to anyone. So if you go with the suggested stop loss and TP, it would be 1 to 1.3, but since I had a tighter, I want to risk a little bit less since I was using 2 contracts. But yeah, so we just from stop loss to TP it's a 1 to 1.3. And TP2 is a 1 to 1.4. All right, here we go. So we can break this high. TP1 should be a lock. Alright, we're about to hit TP1. I'm probably gonna put my stop underneath this candle. Probably once it closes. Alright, about to hit TP, so let's see if we can get there. Alright, what do we need to get the TP1 here? Two points? Yeah, if we start rejecting, probably get out. Wow, crazy rejection right at TP1. Yeah, depending how this closes, I'm probably gonna put it underneath at these equal lows here. We probably will get the TP1, but I don't want to deal with it coming back on me. Yeah, dude, it's like 2 points away. Yeah, there's no point of taking, you know. I'm gonna see how this candle closes and see what it does. I'm probably gonna get out too. It's super close to TP. I'm not gonna try to chance it for a reversal or something. Good day. Let's see. Do we get that push? Put it right there. All right.
Order filled.
I'm out of that trade.
Order canceled.
I am out, guys. Yeah, it's super close to TPA. I'm not gonna stress over that. Alright guys, just be careful still holding it. Volume is dropping off. We've been cruising up there. I just don't want to come back to like this fair value gap. Like I would have put it, like probably the most I would probably risk was this to these lows right here. But good trade. 1200 on the day. Not too bad. I will be adding another one to this roster, so be good to go. How would everyone else do? Pretty easy trade today, I will say. Everything went in our favor. What is today? Wednesday? So yeah, we got 2 more days. See if we can close out this week, you know, pretty solid green. This is probably still gonna go to TP1 like where it is, but it's probably gonna get choppy. Like I just don't want it to go sideways, and then what I'm thinking might happen is it's gonna do this, it's gonna go sideways, and then go to TP, and then do whatever. But yeah, it was about 2 points away, so not really worried about that. But yeah, guys, good day, good day. Hope everybody made some cash. Guess we'll call it for today. Yeah, see prices. That was like would have been like. We might do the same thing where we retest this like fair value gap and then continue again, but we'll see. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, might have called the top here, to be honest. Look how prices are starting to so like one quick note. So like round number for the TPs are also levels, so that's something to keep in mind, that like this couldn't happen where it gets really close to TP and then that level is just too strong. So just something to keep in mind. So we could get reactions from this level. We can bust through it or get reactions, so just something to always keep in mind. Well, yeah, guys. All right. Yeah, we'll wrap it up for today, and then I'll be in the Discord. You can message me if you need anything, and then yeah, that's it. Good day, guys. Profitable green. Oh yeah, guys, just quick, just make sure, well, we don't have to, but if you want to, post your P&Ls in the P&L feed, just so it kind of gets everyone see what's going on. Yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.